Hey everyone, it's Matt from the dynamic duo Nerdisms of Blerds on Nerds. I just want to send out a quick little apology for the paranormal witness episode that we had last week. We're still figuring out the kinks of the sound and the audio, and we don't have any Pro Tools or anything like that. So every week is different. A lot of weeks are really good. I think that was the worst week, and I'm gonna use that loosely just because it wasn't that bad, but looking back and listening to the episode, I definitely felt like it was a haunted episode. We definitely talk about this during the podcast, but I just want to send out a quick little apology. And things are much better this time, so definitely sit back, pop in some earbuds, pop some popcorn, get a little Diet Coke or icy, what kids do nowadays, and nerd out with us and blur out with us and continue to spread the nerd. And hope you enjoy the show. Late.
Here we are, Blerds Nerds, guys and gals, episode 14 of Blerds on Nerds. And you know what? We have quite the show today because there is way too much that we need to talk about right now.
We had to stop talking just to record the podcast. Otherwise, we would have talked about everything before the podcast.
Yeah, we were just having conversation. I was like, okay, let's start because the people, I kind of feel like the people have been waiting for us.
They have. And actually, we should start with like a quick, rueful apology about last week. We didn't tell you, we didn't think it was a big deal, but we were also filming an episode of Paranormal Witness.
Yes, we were.
And so all that echoing you were hearing, I wouldn't consider it feedback, but like the echo. It was an episode. Yeah. It was a very haunted episode. And we just want to send out a quick little apology.
Yeah.
We're still working out the kinks and stuff, so just bear with us. The content is still amazing. It's still awesome.
The content is great. So if you haven't listened yet to episode 13, if you can just find it in your heart to get past the little man in the recording who's talking and saying gibberish, sounding like a mogwai the entire time.
Exactly. If you can just get past that, which actually doesn't get really bad until towards the end.
Yeah, it's in and out.
Yeah, and it's only a couple seconds. It's nothing that's like I can't hear them blurt out, so I don't want to listen to this.
Pretend like we have a third guest who keeps trying to interrupt, and then we keep smacking him and saying shut up.
And keep ignoring him.
Yeah.
We just don't acknowledge him. It's like that, the
pretend.
The puppy or the child that's crying, you just leave him alone.
Pretend. That's all. Just pretend.
So let's play pretend.
Yes. Yes. We're in the land of make-believe.
So bear with us, people. No. So as Lana said, we have a lot to talk about. We had a little Twitter rant Thursday night. Because there was some news that hit for. I'm literally playing with my fingers. Like I can't even talk about it.
I know.
So let's just get into it because.
Are we gonna do Blast from the Past first, and then I'm gonna just let you run? I'm gonna just sit back. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna be like Marcus said, go.
No, we're gonna save that for towards the end. Per usual. So. Blast from the Past, this is really funny. So, Lana and I always talk about comics, right? We talk about comics. We try to talk about comics every week. I feel like the comics we read have gotten better and better. Infinity. But I thought about this Wednesday or Tuesday, and I thought, have we done a Blast from the Past on like our first comic we've ever read? And we have not.
No, we haven't. So
Lana gave me a quick little preview before we started recording of her first comic, and I was like, wait, are you serious? That was a graphic novel? Like, that was a graphic novel?
Yeah.
So, Lana, actually, no, because hers is better than mine, so I'm going to go first, because we're going to save the best for last. So, because yours is really cool, and I need you to send it to me.
I know.
So, my first comic was actually, we talked about our first action figures, and my first action figures were toys. Growing up, were X-Men toys. And I love them, I cherish them, but I really didn't know. And I knew about the cartoons, but I didn't know anything about comics at the time. So around 2000, 2001, I found my first comic, and it was X-Men. It was the new X-Men. They had just did like a rebranding, so they were called X-Men all this time, and then under Grant Morrison, they retitled X-Men Volume 2 the new X-Men. So on the front cover it was cool because they look like a bunch of jocks. Like it's like all these, I would say Letterman jackets on steroids. Like it's these like Cyclops is in the front. He has like this huge jacket on, and it's a black jacket. It has a huge like yellow, like thick, bold X across it. And did I say across? Did I
Yeah.
just really say across?
That's
Wow.
okay. Run with it.
Wow, across it. Wow, across it. So it was very high schooly. It was a really good series, and I really liked it. It was a way of Marvel trying to regain some of the former glory. Because I guess during that time, I'm not too familiar with this history, but I guess during that time, like before this revamp, they had some criticisms where the story was going. I guess it was getting really boring or too convoluted, too complicated. So this was like a little rebranding for them. So that was my first comic, and of course, as you know, over the past several podcasts, I've had my collection has went from one or two to a dozen or so. So that's it for me. But Lana, please inform us, what is your first comic?
Okay. And I'm going to call it a graphic novel because of the length. But
Right.
so the first one I ever got was given to me by my grandmother when I was little. I want to say I was younger than even 8.
Yeah.
And it was actually the Bible.
Seriously. So when she first told me the Bible, I said, wait, it's not a graphic novel. It's
Yeah.
not a comic book. I mean, yeah, you know, Bibles have pictures in them, but not continuous pictures.
Yeah. And I said, no, I said from beginning to end, I've got a Bible that is done in the style of a graphic novel. And it's funny because, you know, I started reading pretty early. So when she gave it to me, I was completely fascinated, and I read all 300 something pages, because you know when it's a graphic novel you're not going verse by verse.
Right.
So I read the entire thing actually a few times. And it was just cool, like the way the stories kind of like intertwined together, and you know there weren't any divides between each book of the Bible, but it was just kind of like a continuous story. Continuity was very good. So
the continuity was really good.
Was good.
Tell me, were there several universes?
There were 2 time periods, the Old Testament.
Right. See, there were so many universes. So really, honestly, if you want to get into a good graphic novel that's not too complicated, kind of straightforward, you should try the Bible, because you know, you look at Wolverine and he has 80 different stories.
Right.
And you look at the Bible and it's kind of consistent.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to push religion on anyone, but from a graphic novel point of view, if you want something that'll tickle your fancy,
go to church.
A side note, Lana, UPS will be by today around 2 to pick up that book, that graphic novel Bible.
Yeah.
Because I need it. I would like to read it. Thank you so much. You laugh, but no, they'll be there. So don't be upset when you have a banging on your door.
It's funny. It's kind of falling apart because it's so old, but I'm able to keep it intact.
See. So that's our blast in the past. I really, I just can't. I love it because it's like, oh, you have like fiction and you have nonfiction,
right?
So you have kind of serious and fake. So jumping right along, because I'm kind of like this moving train. Like I'm ready.
I'm just gonna have to be the conductor on this one because you're full of some kind of passion today, and I'm just gonna let you run with it. Just go.
Okay. So a lot of stuff has happened this week. Alongside, this has been a really good week to be a nerd or a blerd, because the week started off with Gamescom, which is a huge gaming convention in Germany, better like Cologne, Germany. Abbreviation is GC. It's every year. It's in association with like Tokyo Game Show is another one that comes up, I think, in a few weeks or a little bit from now. It brings in about 200 200,000 visitors, 2,600 journalists. It's a really big deal, very much on the scale, if not greater than Comic-Con, but also just all about video games. And they call it infotainment, hardware, and edutainment, so education and entertainment.
Uh-huh.
But it's a really big deal because obviously, as we've been talking for the past several weeks, next-gen consoles have been, the talk of the town with, the Xbox One and the PS4, and it went pretty well. Things were pretty mellow, but from a PS4, a Sony point of view, there were a lot of changes, a lot of announcements. Hardware-wise, they released a 12 gig PS3 for $199. Just to get them off the shelves, or not necessarily off the shelves. This is a new version.
Yeah.
But to get that off the shelves, and then they lowered the price of the PS Vita to $199, if I'm not mistaken. Which is a big deal because with the PS4 and the next gen, they're really trying to push this all-inclusive gaming environment. So they want you to have not only your PS4, but they want you to have your PS Vita, and they want you to be able to take your PS Vita with you with the game you were playing on the PS4.
Which is awesome. I love that.
Which is a great concept. I don't know the extent of it, and I tried to do a little more research and do a little bit more digging into PS4's announcement, or PS4, Sony's, I should say, announcement. But I didn't get too much detail out of it, besides a lot of partnerships like with Activision and Ubisoft, and of course the PS Vita, again having the price lowered. A lot about the PS4. Of course, again, the PS4 is $399. But the biggest thing for me, there's two things. The first is being that there's already 1 million pre-orders for the PS4, which is really awesome. And the release date for North America is November 15th. And I am so excited because this means I can get it before the holidays. I can get it, and I will skip on my family holiday dinners.
Right.
I will be playing video games on my PS4.
I can't wait.
I'm extremely excited. Just because they kept saying the holiday season, and of course Lana and myself, we pre-ordered our PS4s without knowing the exact date. I know. Xbox, they gave their release date very quickly. I think it's still in November, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they're around the same time that they'll be released.
Yes.
But nothing too new besides things like that. As I said before, I love fighting games, and I watch a lot of streams, like on twitch.tv. And they partnered with, Sony announced that they partnered with Twitch, so you can stream your video games live straight to twitch.tv. So they partner with another streaming company. So that's really cool from a Sony perspective. Xbox, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. We're not biased, by the way. No, it was the same. I mean, there wasn't anything new. They had a lot of. They announced that they have a really big partnership with indie games, so they're trying to get a lot of indie developers, which I think is really awesome. A lot of low budget studios or firms that want to get their games out there to mass audiences. Microsoft is really pushing that. But a really big thing was that Steve Ballmer is stepping down, and if you don't know, Steve Ballmer is a really big name. I think he's the CEO, and he's always been the face of Microsoft for several years, especially for the Xbox, and people cheer him on, they chant him on. He seems like a really nice guy. The reason he's stepping down, he had an open letter that he wrote to the board, and it was released to the press. It's because of retirement. It's nothing shady like that Dave Matrick guy.
Yeah.
It's just because, he said he's had a really great run with the company, and how they went from a $7.5 million company and 30 staff members to $78 billion. So since he's been with the team, so it's a really big deal. I mean, a lot of people are sad about it, but of course, he had to go to Gamescom and do his last announcement, as the CEOs do. For CEOs stepped up for the PlayStation or Sony presentation, and then he steps up for the Xbox presentation. So nothing too new, just a lot of game announcements, a lot of game demos. PS3 is launching with 33 titles. And this is a new thing for me, because when I hear the word launch, I think when the system comes out, there's 33 games.
Yeah.
No, launch means within 2 months, basically. Before the end of the year, there'll be 33 games that are released. So it was a really cool start to the week. And then also, just to kind of stay in the flow of tech news.
Yes.
I was just going through some websites, and I had noticed that Google, because Google does not do anything, they do everything.
Right.
They're working on their own car, and
What?
considering yes,
Why?
because it's Google. Google
And they're
does
gonna track where you
everything.
go. It's gonna be a hot mess. I want no parts of a Google car.
You'll control it with your Google glasses. No, I'm just joking. I don't know if that's
You
true.
know
Actually, it's
what?
probably
You
true.
said
It's
it
probably
out
true.
loud, and when you see it,
Yeah, you're right. I truly believe that this is going to happen. But they said,
go car.
right. Did you just call it a go car?
No, I said go car. Remember, go glasses, go car.
Oh, see, I like that. I like that. If they hear this, they got to pay you, Lana.
Yes, they
They got to
do.
pay. And with us, they got to pay. They got to pay us.
Mm-hmm.
But they're working on their own car, and they're considering an autonomous taxi service. So self-automated.
I don't know if I trust that. I don't want to get in a car like that.
I think it's cool. Like the demo so far is like this Prius, like souped up Prius and stuff. With all Google everything, Google hardware, and will definitely just direct you wherever you need to go. I think it's a cool concept. But remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Lana. Like, just imagine what companies are doing that we don't know about. Like Google and Apple and Sony, all these different companies, these tech firms, these huge tech firms, like they only show us what they want to show us, and I honestly think the things that are leaked, especially in today's world, are leaked because of like buzz.
Yes.
Just to get people talking and stirring the pot. But I think like for a company like Google, I can just imagine what they really have in their R&D department.
Mm-hmm.
Like conceptually, like what are they thinking about?
I know, and it's going to be interesting. I think, if anything, just to see what technology, because it's going to be if they're going to do something like this, it's going to be a lot of stuff that we've never ever seen before. That's what I'm thinking. That's what they have to do, or else it's just
right.
And
in the article, they did say first a human would need to be behind the wheel just in case. So the car would still be automated, but there would be just in case you need to have human intervention. But then it would easily change as technology progresses and becomes more reliable. So I'm sure they're beta testing it now, and it's all in the back racetrack of Google's island somewhere off in the Bermuda. But I'm interested because it seems really cool. It seems like a really great idea, and but the thing is, let's look at what we have. We have Siri on the iPhone. You have Google Voice. You have the Google Glasses. You have all these things that are making us sadly a little more lazy and machine dependent. So I don't want to get into that whole debate, but it's just that's kind of where it's going.
Well, and also you have to think, how distracting this is going to be. I just think that it's really, really important not to have too much, only because, excuse me.
Did you just yawn?
I did.
Am I boring you? Are you not entertained?
So early for me. It's so early in the morning.
That Cali life. If you just moved to the Midwest, we wouldn't have this problem.
I'm gonna keep my beat.
Or I guess I would say if I moved out to California. But
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I just slapped my hand on the wrist. For you. I just slapped my hand on the wrist for you. I just slapped my hand for you.
But what I was gonna say is, it depends on how they do it. It's always just because we've got. We have some really big problems in California with distracted driving, people eating, and people talking on the phone. I in the car occasionally, but people talking on the phone without a headset, and just the distractions and, the texting and the driving. And so many people have gotten actually killed by that. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. I think we just have to be careful when introducing too much technology in the car. I just think the driver has to be alert. Because, and not to say that there's anything with the car, but there is definitely something wrong with other drivers. And trusting, if it comes down to trusting your safety to a computer, if you're not in complete control, I would definitely be interested to see a demo and see how they address things like that. And I'm sure they've thought of it. I'm sure they have. So I'm really interested to see, how they're going to address those types of problems and what kind of safety measures they've put into place.
Well, you know how they do anyway. You know, when we come out with electric cars, like full electric cars, you only release them like in certain areas. Like, LA
Right.
is really common, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, certain, key points in the country, Miami, and they release these. So, for especially like, you look at electric cars, you look at, again, Google Glasses. I mean, they release them in certain areas. Like, I don't think anyone in Indiana has Google Glasses.
Oh,
At least not. I mean, I guess anyone. So they had 1,500, I think, that they were giving out, and you
yeah.
have to apply for them. But I just think like I wouldn't really want Google. I can't prove that no one in Indiana does or does not have one, but it's like I wouldn't want one in Indiana. Or I mean, maybe like big cities like Chicago or like L.A.
Mm-hmm.
All these really big cities, because I feel like you can get a lot more, especially from Google. You can get a lot more data
Yeah.
in your testing from that product. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I think it's a cool idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I do like the fact that they're having a human person there or a person there in the car, like behind in the driver's seat
Yeah.
during this, and just in case you need intervention, human intervention.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, again, I'm still saving up my money for Google Glasses. And Alana, I would like for you to join in my Kickstarter campaign to fund a pair of Google Glasses for Blerds on Nerds.
But I want my own.
We can mail it back and forth.
Okay.
That's
Well, who gets, I mean, if we're talking about joint custody here,
joint custody.
then,
Every you
joint
get it,
custody.
you get it for a month. I get it for a month.
Okay.
See, so I'm just noticing a lot of news in the past few days of
Oh,
a lot of follow up news. What were you saying?
wait, one more thing. Hold
Yeah,
on. Before we leave well, we've kind of left the game scene, but what I meant to ask you
yeah.
was I want to know what games you're looking forward to the most. We know Kingdom Hearts. We know that. But I want to know what other games you're looking forward to the most because I was looking and I saw some lists of the most highly anticipated games and I just kind of wonder what's on your list or what couple of games are you looking at, that you're most excited to play?
Well,
Cuz I know I have one.
oh, I know you do. I
I,
know you do. When it comes to like launch titles, because of course, as I've harped on in the past, is Kingdom Hearts,
yes.
Final Fantasy 15. Those are a must.
Mhm.
A lot of like HD remakes. So like they're finally in like the final stages of before releasing Final Fantasy X and X2. I really enjoy both of those HD remasters and the Kingdom Hearts 1. Remakes 1.5. The
Mhm.
remaster of that as well. So like games like that I really want, but those are down the pipe. And then the Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 are down the line. They won't be until like next year maybe, if
Yeah.
not 2015.
Mhm.
But when it comes to like launch titles, I love Call of Duty, and I gotta have Call of Duty Ghost. I mean, that's gonna be hot.
Uh-huh.
Watch Dogs. You remember I played that at Comic Con, and that
Yeah.
was amazing, and I can't
Yeah.
wait to play that.
Watch Dogs is kind of the one on my list that I'm really looking at, and I think probably most excited.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll. It was so fun to sit there with the Ubisoft developers and get like and get a hands on feel for what it was like or
Hmm.
what it was like to develop that game. Like especially because also Assassin's Creed Black Flag will
Yes,
be out, and
definitely.
they're the creators of that as well. So it's cool to see elements. It wasn't the Assassin's Creed in a different outfit by any means, but it was cool to see like some of the elements they use, like the grid, like the geographic grid,
Hmm.
and how like the guy, I can't remember his name, the character that you play in Watch Dogs, like how he'll link into the system, and then as soon as he hits like activate, it'll scan the entire city, or
Hmm.
I'm not city, but the entire district, and then you have like access to the entire map.
And also, I like the feature that you have this interesting kind of single player, multiplayer function where you can actually go into other people's games and you can drop in as a helicopter pilot
Yes,
and you can drop in as these different characters and you can try to hack other people's,
systems.
PDA devices. And it's just,
I
I'm
would.
very, very interested. I'm
I'm going to be in
very
your
interested.
system all, and this people can take this how they will, Lana, but I'm gonna be in your system all the time.
Oh, please believe you're going to be playing and you're going to be like, here comes that helicopter. Here
Trying to
she
kill
comes.
me.
You're going to be like, that was you, wasn't it? I'm be like, yeah.
Well, it was the coolest thing because at the Ubisoft Watch Dogs meet and greet, they had two big TVs back to back. The people that were playing were developers, and I was watching them play, and I saw him jump into his friends who was 2 feet away into his game, and then you go and find them like because they don't know it's you.
Hmm.
So you can like walk past them and they won't know. Oh no, I'm sorry. If they scan you, then they know that you're from another game and they can kill you. But you can like once you get a lock on them, you can hack them, and it takes it's like 100%. So it's constantly growing, 1%, 2%, 3%, and then once it gets to a certain level, like maybe 15%, it'll warn you like someone's hacking to your system.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you know that
What?
they're but you know that they're close, so you like freak out, and you like run all over the place and looking for them, and once you find them, you have to kill them. To get them out of your system.
That's
It's so cool. It's so cool. So those are for me like there's a lot of games that are coming out on launch, but just primarily like just Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, and that's really it from what I can see like on their list. Um, Everything else looks really cool, but I'm just not. So I'm not going to be in a rush to get it.
yeah. I'm gonna get that. And so yeah, I just wanted to touch on that really, really quick. Some of the other games that I saw looked okay. I know they're doing a Grand Theft Auto, which I
Yes,
have
yeah.
not played, and that is for PS4, right?
I'm pretty sure I can double check, but I don't think it's. No, I think it's for Xbox too. I think it is
Hmm.
because it's
But I
what
mean,
Grand
it's
Theft
for
Auto
both,
5.
but it is across. Well, I if it is, sorry, I don't have that information right in front of me,
Yeah,
but
it
I
is. It
believe it is.
is.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Okay, so I haven't played Grand Theft Auto. I think the last I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since my dad's PS2.
I was like
Like,
Grand Theft Auto 3. That was hot business. Grand Theft Auto
yeah,
3. That was the
and
best to me.
I loved playing Grand Theft Auto. It was, I mean, people had their issues with the violence and stuff, but Grand Theft Auto was a load of fun. So,
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, because I think it was one of the first games to introduce, well, outside of like Final Fantasy or RPGs, like open world concepts,
yeah,
like true. I'm gonna use true lightly, but true open world concepts. I mean, I'm trying to rack my brain really quick, and besides like RPGs, primarily like JRPGs, I can't think of games back then that had that same open world. Because I mean, even Grand Theft Auto back in the day, like original Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, was doing that.
hmm
2D, so it was cool, and I'm glad that they still have this this longevity with this brand, and that it's still like when they showed the logo the first time, it was just such a great response
yeah,
from consumers. I mean, we were really excited. I'm really excited. I don't know if I will get the game,
hmm
not because it's not a good game by any means, but it's just not my style of game.
okay,
But I think it's still a great game,
yeah.
and I
I
think it's a great idea.
I think I probably would get it because I remember, the format and the way the game looked, but now, we have these systems that are so powerful. I'm really kind of interested to get inside this game and play it. The graphics look of Grand Theft Auto 5 they look really, really good.
Yeah, and it's like they just
And it's just
revealed,
real. Yeah.
and it's just real.
Oh, and there's a motorcycle.
And yeah, there's motorcycles, boats,
Yes.
tanks. They just Grand Theft Auto 5. There's adult only content that was revealed. So they have sex acts, nudity, drug use, dismemberment,
So I probably won't be using my
getting.
characters for
Are
that.
you going to use your GTA 5 character for good?
Yeah, well, good insofar as he's able to survive and do his thing, but I don't really. I
Lana's
mean,
loophole.
I
Lana's
know,
loophole has been discovered.
I know, but it's not. Yeah, there's certain things I'm just not interested in having my character do.
That is fair, but you do what is right for the character.
Look, become a drug addict. Not really
No,
something
I'm
that
about making money. I don't want to lose it.
I'm
I'm
about
about
that
making that
money.
money.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. So since it's not on the launch titles, I'm not seeing. I'm assuming that it comes. I'm assuming with all the press it's getting that it'll be out by next year.
Yeah.
Definitely out by next year. And that'll be on PS4 and Xbox One. I don't know if it's on Wii U. People don't talk about Wii U anymore, and I feel bad when I talk about it.
Well, Zelda's doing a big thing on Wii. I saw a little blurb about that.
Oh, the Wind Waker.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing like this big bundle. I just saw that today. It's like
Yeah.
a big bundle, and it's like gold trimmed casing. I would love to play that game again. I just don't want to buy a Wii U.
Right. Well, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get because I'm just looking at the list because I had some more that I wanted to remind myself. I'm definitely gonna be getting DC Universe Online because that's something that wasn't available to me unless I wanted to do online gaming, which I really didn't, but I couldn't use it for my Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can do DC Online, and that's something that I've been wanting. Well, DC.
Yeah.
That's something that I've been wanting to get into. They actually have a comic that goes along with DC Universe Online.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely, and that's one of the launch day or launch titles, which means either on the date of, yeah, on or before. So DCU, Assassin's Creed, um, either Call of Duty or Battlefield. I'm not a huge Battlefield, you know,
I got it.
but
It was
I don't know. But at least, oh, and Watch Dogs. So I'm gonna say those three.
well, even like Call of Duty 3, Battlefield 3 was free on PSN for PlayStation Plus members last
Yeah.
month, and I
Oh,
downloaded it, and I mean it's cool, but there's this thing, and it's not a bad game at all by any means. I think it's like either you like Call of Duty or you like Battlefield or you like both. You know, people fall
yeah.
in both category, but I don't really see too many people playing Battlefield and Call of Duty. It's usually
Right.
either or.
Yeah.
But what I did play of it, I enjoyed it. It's just I was really going through this like nostalgic moment of playing Call of Duty, so. It was kind of selfish, and I kind of felt bad because I was playing the game. I'm like, it's not the same to me as a player. It's
Mhm.
not the same to me, and I would rather play I would rather play Black Ops 2.
Mhm. Oh, really?
Right? Then not because this game is bad, but it's because I've always played Call of Duty, and I've never. This is my first time playing Battlefield.
You know what? You know what else I'm kind of looking at that because I haven't played this type of game in a while is I'm kind of looking at Need for Speed because I used to really like the car games
Hmm.
and just the racing games and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of, I mean, the cars look really good, and I'm kind of really interested to see, you know,
Well,
to
that's
just play that.
fair.
I've always kind of liked those kind of games. I mean,
Well,
I
I
like the car racing games. I like cars.
I haven't seen. Well, I know you do, yeah, and I haven't seen too much about Need for Speed. Well, I have, but mostly what I've been hearing about is Drive Club,
Uh-huh.
which is a launch day title too. So I like what they did with it. I forgot who the developers are for Drive Club, but I like what they did with it. I kind of like the hashtag, because
Mhm.
hashtags are all in today. Hashtag spread the nerd. But but it's kind of cool. It would be something like for my family to play. Like it would be something fun to play with other people. Like so, if I got like Need for Speed or Drive Club, I would definitely have to play it online.
Mhm.
Like just to have other interaction with people.
Yeah. I'm looking at Drive Club, and that actually looks pretty cool too. I actually think so it looks from the screenshots it looks a little more realistic than Need for Speed does.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just need a good card game. I'm gonna have to watch the promos and stuff for it and really decide which one I want to get. What? How are we gonna do our PS4 party? By I mean,
I was just
I
about to
don't.
say,
We need to because you know what we're gonna do for real though, and we need to make this happen. We need to try to make this happen the best we can. Is we need to do a live stream of both of us getting into our stuff at the same time
we can do that.
and just pulling our stuff out at the same time and just being like, regardless of what time it is, there's a 3 hour difference. We can work it out. We need to open it at the same time and just be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, because I'm getting my side note. I think Drive this really quick. I think Drive Club comes with PS4 pre-orders.
really?
I think it's free, and because I remember seeing this on and listeners, let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Hopefully, but I remember at the Sony press conference at E3, I thought they said Drive Club was free for PlayStation Plus members, which you have to be if you want to play online. FYI,
Mm-hmm.
immediately at launch.
Hmm.
So Drive Club will not be a game that you have to buy online. I'm pretty sure that it's a game that you get when you get the PS4 and you have PlayStation Plus.
Oh.
Because I'm looking it up now. because I think it's free. Yeah, the first thing I typed in Drive Club PS4, and the first thing that popped up was free.
Oh,
It's yeah, a free PlayStation Plus. Yeah, so okay, so a free PlayStation Plus edition will be available to all PlayStation Plus members.
oh, so I need to hurry up and do PlayStation Plus then.
Yeah, and yeah, you have to. You have to.
Okay.
Well, also remember, I don't say remember, but they announced this at Gamescom. When you get, oh, there were so many little things I forgot. So when you get the PS4, you get 2 weeks free
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Plus, like a
Oh.
trial,
Uh-huh.
and which is really cool. So milk that, and then also when you get PlayStation Plus, you get the first 60 days free. So you get a year. So basically, you get a year. You get 14 months instead of a year.
Oh, yay, nice.
Yeah, so it's just little things like that they announced. Yeah, they said Drive Club is due to launch alongside the PS4. A free PlayStation Plus edition will be available to all PS Plus subscribers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna do the PlayStation Plus anyway.
Oh yeah, it's plus especially since you have to use it to get online anyway. I think it's a small price to pay, and it's a yearly fee. You can save up for that every year.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no. Back to what you were saying about the launch day of the PS4. I'm planning on taking off like the day after, and probably the day after that too.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, at the very least, because let's see, because it's
15th.
November 15th now.
Mm-hmm.
So what day does that even fall?
It should be a Tuesday. Traditionally, video games are launched on Tuesdays.
Why would they do that? Oh, November 15th is a Friday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that means I can get it at midnight on Thursday, right?
Yeah. Take
That
Friday off.
means I'm taking Friday off.
Really good.
There you- I'm taking. I'm taking.
Thank you, Sony.
Thank you, Sony. You're the best. So I traditionally, because usually when games come out, it's like on a Wednesday. It's on a Tuesday. Maybe I've heard of Thursdays,
Did I
but
tell you best weekend ever? Yeah, I'm totally as soon as I go back, yeah, I'm putting that in. I'm doing
wow, yeah, that's needed. That's duly noted. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Think about it. I don't want to miss anything because there were a lot of little things that really doesn't affect a lot of people, but just like little things like Microsoft and or PlayStation announced. But I think we're good. I think we're good on that. There was a little blurb I did find though, Lana. This is for you, and this is for all you Time Warner Cable people out there.
Yes.
With your CBS conflict, it was just announced, and I think this is happening right now. So, Lana, when we get off this podcast, you need to find the nearest Time Warner Cable store if they exist. So the CBS blackout is still going on, if I'm not mistaken, and the TV provider is giving out a limited quantity of basic TV antennas in the Dallas, Green Bay, LA, Milwaukee, and New York City regions.
Oh, you know what? I did see that, and I don't even know how. I don't even know. I have. Okay, how am I gonna hook that up to my TV?
Yeah, because you have to get like a. Because I used to have an antenna for my smart TV, and I can't remember where I got it at Best Buy. But so you can get it from Time Warner Cable, and then the company's also offering a $20 in credit towards buying a unit at certain Best Buy stores in the same cities.
Hmm.
So they give you like a bougie cable or antenna that you can go to. You can go to Best Buy and then use that $20 credit towards one.
I'm just irritated. I don't even care. They can kick rocks. I don't even care. Both of them suck.
Well, I mean, we know what doesn't suck? Under the Dome. Under the Dome has been pretty good.
Yeah.
So you need to get on that because
I
I'm watching
can't
my Under the
even.
Dome.
I'm watching Fringe.
Fringe is pretty good. Fringe is actually pretty awesome. I think that
I'm
was one
all
of the.
late.
Did we talk about this on the podcast?
We talked about it a little bit. That's kind of the show I'm into right now, and I know it's weird because it's over.
No. Those are the best songs. You're gonna watch them as is. Fringe was so good, and I hated. I think I was talking to Kim about this, and I just hated how they treated that show. I hate how Fox treats every great quality
You know
show.
what? I can't with Fox. They're so crazy. What's wrong with Fox? Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Mm-mm.
I don't know anymore. I just don't. So we'll see what happens with them. But that was just a little blurb I wanted to give for any of our listeners in those areas, especially Lana, that are dealing with that. Because here in the Midwest, we don't have that problem.
No, we don't.
We don't. So, all right. I know I'm driving this conversation, so I'm just going to drive it right off the cliff.
Do it. Just do it.
I'm ready. So,
yeah.
Wednesday night, Thursday evening.
Thursday evening, yes.
I was with some friends and was on Twitter, doing the usual social media, talking to folk, getting to know people, blase, blase. And someone tweeted that I can't even
just let it out. Let it out, honey. Just let it go. Let it go.
Someone tweeted that Ben Affleck, if I'm even saying that name right, is the new Batman. Now, or Dark Knight. Now, when that was said, I kind of, was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Nice little rumor. Because I was team, and I still am team Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But I was like, yeah, whatever. So then I saw all these tweets, and then all of a sudden I looked at the hashtags, the top trending, and it was like, Ben Affleck is Batman, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Dark Knight,
yeah.
Ben Affleck. And I'm like, what? So then I Google, and it's true. And I had the biggest temper tantrum in an adult party.
You did.
And I spilled my feelings onto Twitter. I was very professional. I think Ben Affleck is a great actor. I think he's a great director. But has anyone seen Daredevil?
I did.
Did I have to? That's my trump card. Did anyone see Daredevil?
But there was Argo.
Yeah, and he directed that movie.
And he was in it.
Okay. But has anyone... But, I wish I could have... Because I took to Twitter and I was like, I want to have like 6 people or 6 other people that we follow and that I was talking to on Twitter about it. Like, I want to have us on this podcast and I want us to all talk about it because I know how I feel. I think he is a talented man, way more talented than I am as an actor, and he has more money than me. But... whether the people that were announced, like as rumor, whether they were rumors or not, Zack Snyder mentioned that he wanted a Dark Knight or a Batman that was in his 40s, a little grungy, not grungy, but like a little rough around the edges. And that makes sense for some of the other potential actors. Now, Ben Affleck is not, he's not rough looking. He's very clean. He's a very, very handsome man. I could see him as Bruce Wayne in his early 30s, like in the prime of his facade as Bruce Wayne. I could see that as a really good Ben Affleck, or Ben Affleck as that type of Batman or Bruce Wayne. But what Zack Snyder said at Comic-Con versus what Marvel or what DC announced recently or this past week, I'm just not seeing it. But before, because Lana, I got to get your take on this. But I went to aisle 9, and they had the 50 greatest tweets about Ben Affleck's casting as Batman.
Yeah.
And I have to read some of these to you.
Okay, do it.
And the first,
do it.
So the first one was, y'all think George Clooney gave Ben Affleck tips on how to suck as Batman? ? Let me see. Where's the other ones? I just seen Christian Bale going to Affleck's apartment with some Huey Lewis records and an axe. Oh. Wow. Someone tweeted, Affleck is the next Batman, ? I hope the villain in that movie wins.
Oh, whoa.
Seriously, what's the beef with Ben Affleck? He's brilliant in Mallrats. Speaking of Argo, the Venn diagram of good movies Ben Affleck has been in and movies Ben Affleck has directed is a single circle.
Oh.
Now Frankie Boyle, this was good. As a dad, I have to go to all the big superhero movies. Ben Affleck's casting has actually made me love my children less.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, this is just a few of the tweets. Again, I'm going to tweet this link out, but...
Wait, Richard Dreyfuss. I have to read this one.
Read that one.
You read for a part, you feel good about it, you feel confident, and then they cast Ben Affleck. Richard Dreyfuss.
That was really, I just, like, I mean, there were so many like celebrities that took to Twitter. Like some Comedy Central said, casting Ben Affleck as Batman sounds like something the Joker would do to create a distraction at the nerd bank.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Oh my gosh. So Tim Carvel,
mm-hmm.
10 years working your way back in everyone's good graces, win an Oscar, then you get cast as Batman, and bam, you're Gigli again.
Oh, God.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Ah, that's. Oh, Kevin Smith said, Ben Affleck is the new Batman. Do you know that this? You know what this means? It means I have seen Batman naked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So,
So Lana, what do you? Let's, because I gotta sit back.
okay, I'm gonna let you sit back so you can kind
Talk to
of you
me.
have to collect your thoughts. Okay. And so I don't know. He's not my first choice to say the least. I just and it's not for me. It's not so much Ben Affleck,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the direction that I see this franchise going. And I could be wrong. Please let me be wrong. I want to be wrong. I love
Right.
DC. I don't want to be right about this. I really don't. I want to be blown away. I want it to be the best thing ever. I just don't think that's happening. And I really would have rather seen, as far as them doing all these movies to develop a Justice League movie, supposedly. Somebody, and we talked about this yesterday, somebody like Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Yep.
to come in as the next Batman, as a younger Batman or whatever, and have him and Cavill meet up and, kind of do their thing or whatever. I'd rather have something like that,
Right.
because I have a feeling that we're going to see something along the lines of what Bruce Timm, who was kind of the one overseeing the Justice League animated series, and it's just going to be the Bat God show.
Ugh.
And we're going to have a movie where Superman is going to be dumb. He's not going to be intelligent. He's going to be a brute. And Batman is going to make him look stupid. And I just, I've always thought as, Kal-El, as somebody who was not an idiot, somebody who kind of knew what he was doing, somebody who was more scientifically minded. Just in my mind, he's somebody that's much better than what he's portrayed in the comics. And I guess I'm kind of starting to resent the fact that, he's kind of looked at as, oh, I can't wait to see. I've even seen comments, oh, I can't wait to see Batman mop the floor with him, as if. I mean, seriously, the only real vulnerability he has is kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry. I don't know. You have
Well,
a kryptonite rock in a lead line case. And like that's I don't know. I'm just afraid, and I think I'm right on this, that we're going to see another Bad Guy movie. And I love the Batman movies. What Christian Bale did with that role was phenomenal. With
mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton did being the first one out the box with that. I thought Michael Keaton was phenomenal. I'm not going to talk about who played him in the middle. I don't think it matters, but we know
It
Michael
doesn't.
Keaton and we know Christian Bale. Okay. And the middle is what it is.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm worried. I'm concerned about the way they're going to treat Superman in the movie. And also, I think something that we talked about as far as Henry Cavill, him not having that many lines. I mean, as much I did pretty much like Man of Steel. I like the score. I'm kind of a person that gets suckered in by music,
Right.
so
No, you're
that
right.
added a lot to it for me. But we both came to the consensus that he didn't talk that much.
He didn't. I mean, we did. We talked about this, and he has a lot of like standing
And
around and
staring.
obviously staring, fighting, nodding his head. But the dialogue from him as a particular person, as a particular character, really wasn't there. And we talked about this yesterday as well. And the fact that I was thinking that this was going to be a play on The Dark Knight Returns, the comic,
Yeah.
and how Batman defeats Superman,
Hmm.
and primarily because that Bruce Wayne is older.
Mm-hmm.
He's much older. So that's what I feel like Zack Snyder's going after. Is he's going after that particular moment in their timeline, and otherwise, 'cause I attribute age to intelligence when it comes to Bruce Wayne, because I believe Bruce Wayne is extremely intelligent, and especially as he's gotten older. And I feel that that's what he can use to overpower Superman. Not saying Superman is dumb, but Superman is very fast.
Yeah.
He's very powerful. If you just go on strength alone, Batman doesn't stand a chance. So Bruce Wayne / Batman has to use his wits, his intelligence, his experience over the past decades, X decades, to beat someone like that. So that's what I think is cool about having an older Batman. Nothing to do with Superman, but I agree that I'm worried as well when it comes to dumbing down Superman, where he's already kind of dumbed down anyway in Man of Steel.
Yeah. Oh, I have to read a couple more tweets that were really funny. All of this outrage over Affleck, yet no noise of the fact that they've got less than 2 years to make a $200 million movie that they have no script for. And that's true. And also, fanboys are investing more emotion in this Ben Affleck Batman thing than I have in entire relationships.
That's kind of true.
Yeah.
I mean, but see, like, I don't know what the timeline was on Man of Steel, and also, I don't know if I know I talked to you about this, but I don't know if you said this or was it someone else, that there were like some plot holes.
There were, like, when we were talking, like, on our mostly on our Bad Shoulder pages and stuff. Yeah, there was they were talking about the timeline and, just stuff like that. And nobody's really sure where it falls within the universe. So.
But I know they did say that in the next films that they want to do, the characters may not be there, like, Flash, Wonder Woman, Justice League, but they do want to do, like, mentions. They want to mention these people. So I'm assuming that the next Man of Steel / Dark Knight is going to be in the future, like much more in the future. I don't think the Justice League has been established, but those people that were on the Justice League are known.
Yeah.
Because I'm on comicbooknews.com.
Yeah.
And this is some other stuff that makes me happy and makes me sad. So, and I heard about this a few weeks ago, but I think it's going to come to fruition and be true, is that Bryan Cranston has been cast as Lex Luthor.
And it's supposed to be announced. They're trying to wait until after Breaking Bad is over.
Right.
Rest in peace. We've only got 6 more episodes, but
because they want to dovetail that, and I think that's a really good idea. I think it's a really great idea, and I think actually Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor would be awesome because
I'm so excited.
He looks like Lex Luthor. Like, he looks like an older Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But so they looking at they have like the deals, and it's said to be a 6 appearance deal, and they said think of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury popping up in every Marvel movie in the run up to the Avengers. So it would be a 6 appearance deal, meaning he would show up probably in more than likely in the new Man of Steel, and then he would show up in other Justice League, like lead ups to Justice League, or he would show up in those as well, like Nick Fury did, and then also go ahead, babe.
No, I was just going to say that I wonder how they're going to do that, if they're going to change, because Lex Luthor is a Superman foe. He's not in Wonder Woman books. He's not a part of the DC universe like that. So I'm wondering if they're going to have him be a purely evil, or is he going to be an anti-hero type character? Because I'm really holding out to see monsters like Darkseid, and I want to see Doomsday. And we're still, I just feel like, why are we rehashing, and this is nothing against Bryan Cranston, because I'm actually very excited to see him as Lex Luthor, but we're rehashing, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm just craving some newness here.
That's fair.
Really
I think that's completely fair, and let me take a step back, because I think I just said that the movies would be mentioning characters, but DC is planning to have all the main characters liberally appearing or at least mentioned in all of their movies to portray a more connected world than what they think Marvel Studios has done so far.
So that might be interesting. I mean, I'm just waiting for something Wonder Woman to come out. Can we see this happen on the screen already?
I just want to see that shield, because I know this is why I want to see the movie with you, because I feel like when they show that shield, they don't have to show Wonder Woman, but if they show that shield, you're going to break my wrist.
Yeah.
Or you're going to scream so loud in that theater. You're going to make them pause the movie, rewind it, and then pause when her shield is on the or whatever it is,
Right.
lasso that's on the screen, so we can just examine it.
Or if she just pops up, because you know what, and this is why it'd be perfect, because in the Justice League DC world is the Trinity. It's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And those are like the big three. Those are the main three. They actually have their own graphic novel called Trinity.
Right.
And I just kind of feel like if she just popped up like at the end, I would probably just be like, ah!
That's true. Now onto I shouldn't say sad. Well, yeah. Now with this Bryan Cranston casting, there was also another casting note, and that was well, side note, back to Ben Affleck, is that he has allegedly signed a 13 appearance deal for Batman.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so he'll be around for a while. And DC has expressed major, and I'm quoting, major interest in bringing Matt Damon in as Aquaman, which I could kind of see.
I can't.
And this is where you lose me. Or Martian Manhunter.
Just I put this on Facebook last night on my personal Facebook page, and I was just like, why? Why? Oh,
why?
Oh, why?
I don't know. I don't know what they're. I don't know.
He's too short and little to play Aquaman. Aquaman is big. He's like
Aquaman's a big dude.
King of Atlantis or something, and he has big old hook hand. And no.
Well, you also got to see, like, when you look at, like, think of Dark Knight Rises, when you had Bane. You know, Bane in the cartoon in the comics is huge. I mean, he's ungodly huge. Versus, you know, what can I think of his name? Hardy. He obviously he's more modern day. He's very muscular for that role, but he's more modern day. So I could see that. I could see them because I mean in the comics and in the movies, the animated movies, you know, Aquaman is really a huge dude. I could see them, you know, modernizing Aquaman, regardless who plays him.
Hemsworth is the body type you need for Aquaman, not Matt Damon.
But he's really young too.
Ugh. And really if they cast Matt Damon as Martian Man.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the wrong Hemsworth.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, he would be a good fit. He would be
that's
really
kind of. I mean, we can't have them cross over, but that's who I'm looking for. And really, Matt Damon as Martian Manhunter. They better not. You want the rage that you have over Ben Affleck and Batman? They better not take my Martian Manhunter. Really?
I don't get it. But these are just, you know, I don't think I'm definitely sticking with, I'm pretty confident we're all confident in the Bryan Cranston. And, cause there was Mark, I thought it was going to be Mark Strong that was going to play Lex Luthor, but I forgot, I didn't know that he played Sinestro.
Yeah, they didn't want crossover.
So, that's what was not in his favor, which is cool. Bryan Cranston, just the picture that they have on this, I'm going to tweet this out. The picture they have, the profile of Bryan Cranston, and it's him in his Breaking Bad attire. He, like, just looking at him, like, that is an older Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I mean, Bryan Cranston is going to kill it. Like, that's the one, I mean, I'm not worried. So Bryan Cranston is going to kill it, and I'll go just to see that. So, I don't know. I'm like, whatever.
Well, in my closing, from my closing of this situation, I am not a Ben Affleck or Matt Damon hater by any means. I just don't see Ben Affleck in that role. Now, if he proves me wrong, please do. I mean, I know there was, I know there was a huge uproar that I was actually unaware of about Heath Ledger playing Joker, and so you see what happened. I mean, he was a flawless Heath Ledger. So, you know, things are bound to change. You know, things are bound to get updated. You know, you never know. What's her name? Anne Hathaway. People dogged her for being Catwoman. I thought she was an excellent Catwoman. See, I can't win with my emotions. How I feel. For what they gave her, I think she's a really good actress. I think she's a really great actress, and I think for what they gave her, she did a really good job in that role. But I mean, it's no Halle Berry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. I had to say it. So, in closing, I will gladly sit back and I will see this movie, even though I made it quite clear on Twitter that I would not. I will see this movie, and I hope the best. I just hope that, DC is not making a mistake. With who the people who they could have potentially cast for this film.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they're not making a mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm off my high horse. Or soapbox.
Yeah.
Or table stand or trash can. Or you sound sad.
I don't know. I'm just a little. I'm resigned. I don't think we'll ever have a Wonder Woman movie, and I'm just feeling a little low right now. I just want what I want.
Well, there's going to be a Wonder Woman movie. You know that. It's the TV show stuff that over the past few years or 5 years since the NBC embarrassment, that it's not working TV wise. Obviously the Wonder Woman was on NBC was canceled before it even started. They got backlash before it even started. Before they even finished the first episode. Because of her outfit change, and then with CW, it's shelved because it's too expensive. CW has went on the record to say that they are very confident. I'm sure there's just talking, but they say they're very confident that they can make something work. But as you can see, they've already moved on to do the Flash.
Yeah.
So
I'm just and the Flash isn't. He has a following or whatever. I just haven't really been that interested in the Flash. So, I don't know. Of course I'll probably go see it. I wonder who they're getting to play the Flash.
I don't think it's been announced yet, but casting began immediately after CW's press conference, which was, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. They began auditioning immediately. There were a number of choices. I think Nerdy Something on Twitter.
Yeah.
He had a list of who he thought would be a good Flash, and he had some really good ones. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I remember talking to him back and forth, and I think he had some really good ideas of who would be good Flashes. But he'll appear. He has to be cast fairly quickly because the season of Arrow premieres shortly, and then he'll be appearing in I think 3 or 4 episodes, and then after that that'll be like his crossover, and then that's when the show will start, which it'll start the next, I guess, end of 2014. Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I'm very hopeful. I know at least movie wise, but my thing is if Marvel is gonna do Doctor Strange and Ant-Man, then DC can do Wonder Woman. Yeah. Like, it's not saying that Wonder Woman is a obscure character like Doctor Strange and Ant-Man are, but it's like you're not doing. Marvel's not focusing on big budget names anymore. Yeah, they're building their universe. They're building their universe. So why wouldn't DC do the same? I just think DC doesn't have they are feeling pressure from the media and they're feeling pressure from Marvel to get something out there. I think because versus Marvel has been having this plan for years, and X-Men 1 through 3 didn't really work. But whatever they did after that failure, they really sat back and thought, what can we do to really make this work? So, that's just how I would feel about, I think, like I said, Marvel could do it. They went back to the chopping block, got everything together for, like, Iron Man, Captain America. Hulk really didn't work out. And that makes sense. Not every movie you do is going to work out. But coming together, I mean, that was the best Hulk. Mark Ruffalo, I mean, it was excellent in Marvel. Or the Avengers. So I think DC could do it, too, if they just get rid of all the noise and they just sit back and focus on what they I'm sure they see the end goal, like Justice League, but is it going to be as big as the Avengers? Right. Exactly. And it should be. And that's what it is. And I understand, I mean, if I'm willing to wait, because, I really want to see a Wonder Woman movie, but I'm willing to wait. If their main concern is really, really, they need to get it right, then I'm willing to wait for them to do that and to get it together and make sure that they do it right, because they have one chance to do this. If they mess up a Wonder Woman movie, there's not going to be a reboot. They're not going to do it again. No, they're not. And I think and I will always, I think anyone can agree with this, you will always wait for quality. Yeah. And if it means you have to go back as gamers, we know there's plenty of games that come out that we can't. They say they're going to come out, like for instance, November 15th, and then October 15th they say we're going to push it back 3 months because of quality issues.
Yes.
I'm not mad at you for pushing back, because why would I want a product that's broken? I would rather you take the extra few months, or let's say in a movie, 6 months or a year, to perfect it than to send out crap. And I feel like with Man of Steel, like with the, just kind of going back to this, and then I'll stop harping on it. But like I said, with the plot holes or, discontinuity of the story, I feel like that was because DC rushed that movie.
Yeah.
I think Man of Steel was still a great movie, but I think, from a comic book reader's perspective, Lana, you so more than me, as a big Superman fan, I mean, there was a little bit of disconnect there. And I feel like if you just really sit back and focus on the quality and take your time with it, then you will get better results. It's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah. No, you can't make everybody happy, but again, quality. It's all about quality. So speaking of quality, I think, well, Lana, do you feel better after this talk?
I do. I really feel like there are some things we needed to talk about.
Well, we talked about it all week, and I was like, we need to get this on paper or record, whatever.
We do.
So to end on a more positive note, Lana had a great idea for our Blerd of the Week, and many of you listeners may know or may not know, but this lady goes by the name of Kimberly Bryant, and she's the creator, right? She's not a co-creator.
Yeah, she's the creator. This is her baby.
Yes, so it's her project, which is a great idea, and it's called Black Girls Code. Yeah. It's Black. I want to say it right, Black Girls Code, and it's based out of San Francisco, so a great city, and what she's about is that they go around to inner city schools and they teach girls or women, young ladies of color, how to code and in different programming languages such as Scratch or Ruby on Rails. So they've done I think this is their first full year of going around and really doing this. And after reading up on what she's done and what she's done for these schools, I think it's just a really cool idea, because Lana and I talked about this yesterday, because I heard of her like through the Twitter universe. Yes. Because she has her own personal Twitter and then she has her company's Twitter. And I was like, oh, her name sounds familiar, so I looked more into it. And her brand, her slogan, her motto, what she's done over the past year for all these girls, all these young ladies, has been extraordinary. Because when you look at an industry of coders and developers and programmers, whether it's video games, manufacturing, any of that genre, it's a very male-driven business, and it's also the minority ratio is very low. It's extremely low. So I think this is really cool because she's setting them up for the future with great tools. Yes. Literally, I mean, and figuratively, because that knowledge is really priceless. Because when I was in college, if you graduated with a CS degree or computer science degree, the average starting salary was between 70 and 90, like out of college with a bachelor's. Mm-hmm. So just imagine, as a young lady to grow up with that knowledge and really fine tune it over the years. I mean, meaning any of these ladies can have any job they want.
Yeah, and it's just an amazing program. The program is for girls 7 to 17 years old, so that's a really wide spectrum of ages. And there are summer camps and things throughout the year. But I like the fact that there's summer camps. There's summer camps in different cities. I think they're winding down at this point. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's just, what she's doing. She saw a need and, is fulfilling that need. And just the fact that she's introducing this technology to girls who would most likely, this hands-on technology for girls who would most likely not have access to it. It's just, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think this is really cool because I'm looking at, definitely check out her website. It's blackgirlscode.com. Definitely check out her website. Very clean, very sleek, very informative about the entire company, who they are, where they've been, where they're going. She has everything from volunteering, which I would love to volunteer if I lived in
Oh, I
the
know.
area. Well, I'm actually going to look into it because I know she's based out of San Francisco, but like you said, she has things all over the country. So I would like to
Yeah.
see
As a matter of
exactly.
fact, Pittsburgh, September 14th, Pittsburgh, Memphis, Detroit, and New York. Those are the ones that are coming up August. Oh wait, August 17th is passed already. So the next one is going to be Pittsburgh, September 14th.
And then for us, or for me being in the Midwest, she has areas in Illinois, Texas, Missouri, Michigan. So anyone out there that's listening, and actually, really quick, while we're on that, Lana, let's just go through the list. So West Coast, of course, she's in California, Washington State, Arizona. She has etc. So I'm assuming that's just in case when I'm sure there's more of a when than if she branches out to other areas of that region of the country.
Yeah.
East Coast, like Lana said, D.C., Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Midwest, Illinois, Texas, Missouri, Michigan, and then the South is Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. So if you're in these areas and you have really been interested in coding or getting to know more about programming languages, definitely try this out. I would love to volunteer. I don't know where she is. I'm looking more into it to see where she is exactly
Yeah.
she's in Chicago, which is perfect. It's only a couple hours from me.
Yeah,
I would
look for
love to volunteer.
chances. Look for chances to volunteer, donate. This is definitely a very, very worthy cause. It's really awesome what
Yeah,
she's doing here.
and we'll definitely tweet this out immediately just to get some buzz for her. I really, Lana, this is a great Blood of the Week just because of what she's doing, the positive reaction she's getting and feedback she's getting. And if you Google if you Google Kimberly Bryant, she has a lot of news and a lot of press about her. So she's
Mhm.
doing very, very well with her business. And also, I love her slogan. She has a little blurb about it. I want to just read it really quick.
Mhm.
So it's Black Girls Code, and then her slogan is Imagine, Build, Create, and it's always been a slogan for BGC. She goes on to say that the digital divide is steadily eroding, but if we want to create truly universal access to technology, she points out San Francisco needs to come together as a community. Imagine a world where everyone is given the tools to succeed and then help us build ways for everyone to access information and create a new age of women of color in technology.
That's wonderful. I just what she's doing is so 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 important.
Yeah, it's really cool. So honest shout out to Kimberly Bryant for a Black Girls Code. Imagine, build, create, do what you love. I mean, follow your passion and just go with it. And so shout out to her for spreading the nerve, spreading the blurred, and really reaching out to people that are maybe less fortunate than us to give them the tools for their future.
Yes, great.
So good job, Lana. That was awesome. I saw that and I was like, why does that name sound so familiar?
Yeah.
Um,
So I think we're good.
are we done?
Yeah, we didn't really do comics this week, but we can go back into that because we had a lot to get off our chest. So
Yeah, it's nothing really happened this week. I know that and we could talk about this next week because the Mighty Avengers, which Lana you've talked about before,
yeah,
which is a I don't want to say black driven comic, but a minority driven comic. Like Luke Cage, She Hulk, Superior Spider Man. These are all off the top of my head. Who am I missing? I want to say Kitty Pryde, but that's not her name. What is her? I can't remember her name, but it's a lot of. It's like they gave it. I read an advanced review of it, and or not read, but I did. I read an advanced review of A Mighty Avengers 1, and there was some pros, there were some cons. I definitely still want to read it, but we could definitely talk about that next week.
yeah, and then could possibly actually read it by then.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, as always, Lana, if you don't have anything, I don't want to.
I'm good. I am
Well,
good in the hood.
what? Good in the hood?
Yeah,
You don't live in the hood.
I sure don't. You've been in my house.
Yeah, you live in a nice, quiet area.
It's about as safe as you can get.
Right. And I live in the woods. So, as always, thanks so much for listening to us.
Thanks, guys.
The sound was a lot better for me. But thanks so much for listening to us, guys. Again, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Blerd Nerd. Like us on Facebook at Blerds on Nerds, and on YouTube and Google Plus at Blerds on Nerds. We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to get a lot of feedback. So thanks again for listening to us.
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. Spread the nerd, guys, and we'll talk to you on the next one, all right? Bye, guys.
Bye.